Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay. It's so before we try to proceed, any questions about yesterday's class? Yep. So what's the unit for time?
Seconds?
Seconds. Okay. What's the unit for
Milliseconds.
distance? Okay. What's the unit for distance?
Centimeters?
Meters,
no.
millimeters, whatsoever, right? Okay. So yes, okay. Yesterday's chapter was just about yes, okay. How do we, or more practically, yes, okay, the system calculate the time between pulse to pulse to pulse to pulse based on the depth. Okay, guys. Now let's just start. Okay, please don't do that. We're going to start talking about chapter 8. And if you look at the heading chapter 8, it says transducers. Yeah, okay. But what chapter 8 is mainly going to be is we can say, okay, that's going to be, it's okay, more of a generalized explanation of transducers. Whereas, guys, when we go to chapter number 12, in chapter number 12, what we'll be doing is, okay, talking about the different varieties of transducers. Yeah, okay. So we're going to have linear, sequential, we're going to have linear array, we're going to have sequential linears, we're going to have a curvilinear, we're going to have mechanical transducer, we're going to have what we call vector transducers. So these are all going to be, okay, different types of transducers. Okay. With, yes, okay, slight different is okay, you can say it's okay, difference in their buildup, but still, yes, okay, it's still going to be fulfilling, yes, okay, the general requirements of transducers as we are going to be talking about here now. Okay, now the question is, first of all, is okay, why do we need transducers? Yeah, okay, so let's just look at this, and this is mean, yes, okay, what this whole chapter is going to be about generally. So if you look at your ultrasound system, now this is the ultrasound system, and we can see as okay, we have the wire, and at the end of this wire is going to be the transducer. Yeah, okay. Now, what you might have seen is that, okay, this ultrasound system here is okay. What is that going to be? That's going to be as okay. plugged into an electrical socket. Okay, so what happens is the form of energy we have here is electrical energy. Even that electrical energy is okay, passes through the system. Even that electrical energy is okay going to pass from the system through the wire to the transducer. Now, what the main job of the transducer is going to be is to, now here we can say, yes, okay, convert this electrical energy into sound energy. Is that clear? Okay, but this conversion from, we can say, it's okay, from electrical energy to sound energy. Okay, this conversion of electrical energy will came from the electrical socket through the machine, through the wire to the transducer, where in the transducer it will be converted into sound energy that is going to be during what we call transmission. Yeah, okay. And what do we mean by transmission? What we mean by that is, okay, as we can say, okay, when the energy is sent ahead. Clear? Okay. So as the sound wave, yes, okay, travels in this direction, yes, okay, from transducer, yes, okay, to the medium, or in our case, yes, okay, to the tissue, that's going to be, yes, okay, what we'll call or refer to as transmission. Now, what we know, let's do it this way. Okay, so what was it that we got? We got electrical energy. What is going to happen in the transducer, that is going to be converted into sound energy. So that was mean that's okay what we had during transmission. Now what we also know is that this sound energy that was produced by the transducer is going to, yes, okay, hit different tissue boundaries, right? Yeah, okay. And what is that we're going to get back? Energy, but that's still going to be, yes, okay, sound energy. Yeah, okay. So we will have, yes, okay, sound energy. That means, yes, okay, is going to come back to the transducer. Okay. And this phase here is okay, that's going to be, yes, okay, where we actually, is okay, we'll call reception. Yeah, okay. Reception. Okay. Now again, yes, okay, since this is an electrical wire, and since, yes, okay, your system only is going to be able to, yes, okay, understand or be able to, yes, okay, read electrical signals. That will mean that, okay, what the transducer is going to do is that is going to just, okay, revert this sound energy here is okay back. Oh, shit. Back into electrical energy. Mainly so that the electrical energy is okay, can be processed by the system, and okay, yes, whatever signals, yes, okay, you will get those displayed on the screen. Yeah, okay. So what's going to happen is that, okay, yes, that sound energy is going to just, okay, be reverted back into electrical energy. Okay. But that conversion from the sound energy back into electrical energy is going to happen during what you call reception. Is that clear?
Yep.
So, so mainly as okay, due to that, primarily as okay, we can say as okay, that is why we would need the transducer. So what is it that the transducer does? It's mainly as okay, roughly you can say as okay, it converts one form of energy into another. And okay, as one form of energy into another. Yep. Okay. But that conversion is going to be as okay, opposite. All dependent upon is okay, we're talking about is okay, there's the conversion during transmission. Because it's going to be as okay from electrical to sound energy. That conversion is of yes, okay, from electrical energy to sound energy is what we see during transmission. Okay, which is mainly going to be as okay when the transducer main is going to as okay be transmitting those signals. Okay, which mainly can say as okay or be as okay sending those signals out. Okay, whereas what the transducer will do when it receives signals, and that's why we call it okay, that's why we call it a reception. Okay, the signals that the transducers will receive. Okay, what are those going to be in the form of? Yes, okay, mainly yes, okay, in the form of reflections of different tissue boundaries. But this yes, okay, your transducer is going to receive these signals. Okay, and we can say it's okay. The act of receiving is what you can call reception. Yeah, okay. So yes, okay, when it receives signals in form as okay that are reflected off from the tissue boundaries, that phase is called reception. What form of energy will it receive? Sound energy. Yeah, okay. But what will be the job of the transducer then? To convert that sound energy back into electrical energy, so that electrical energy actually is okay, can be conducted through the electrical wire. Okay. Of course, that's okay, back to the system where these electrical signals are going to be processed and ultimately it's okay, show up as an image on your screen. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Any questions?
No.
So guys, if you don't mind, that's okay. Just go on to page 114. Yeah, okay, and on page 114, you says okay, Macy is okay, what is going to be figure 1.8. And on 115, you may, yes, okay, see a long list of components. Okay, and right next to, yes, okay, the names of those components, you may see, yes, okay, a brief description. Okay, now there's approximately 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 components. Well, guy, as far as okay, discussing or talking about these components, we mainly as okay, only going to be talking about 3 of them. Okay. But let us just look at those 3 components just okay in the generalized buildup of your transducer. Okay. Now we can say it's okay, there is a wire. And we already said that okay, this wire here is going to be as okay an electrical wire. So what does it mean to be an electrical wire? That's going to mean that, okay, yes, it will only be able to, yes, okay, carry, or yes, okay, it should be more correctly saying, yes, okay, conducting an electrical form of energy, which is going to be electrical energy. Yeah, okay, whether that was from the system to the transducer or from the transducer back to the system. Did you guys get that?
Yep.
Any questions?
Nope.
Yeah. But the thing mainly is going to be as okay, that the transducer is going to have as okay. Oh, let me just match the colors. It's going to have as okay certain components that are okay as is going to be one of these components here, which mainly as okay is going to have the job to convert the electrical energy that came via the electrical wire to the transducer into sound energy. Okay, well, what you see here is, I mean, yes, okay, just we can say, okay, marking the 3 things that we will be needing to talk about. So the 3 factors or the 3 components of the transducer that we will be talking about is going to be as okay, your backing material. Okay, we will be talking about as okay, what we will call as okay, the piezoelectrical material. And last but not the least is going to be the matching layer. Is that clear? Did you guys get that?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So in the list on page 115, which means it's okay, just a brief summary of each of these three components here. You can mainly say, okay, you can mainly it's okay, just mark these, which is the backing material, which is the piezoelectrical material, or which is going to be as okay, the matching layer. Yeah, okay. As far as the wire is concerned, well, we already talked about that. Right. And says, okay, it's going to be an electrical wire. What does the word electrical mean? That it's only going to be able to carry on electrical signals. Clear? Okay, or electrical energy, if you want to put it that way. Clear? Okay. That electrical energy is going to come from the system during what will be transmission. So it's okay, you will have electrical energy come. And it's actually going to be in this part here. That this electrical energy is now going to be converted into sound energy. Okay. So that conversion from electrical energy into sound energy mainly happens in what we call the piezoelectrical material. Okay. Likewise, guys, when this sound energy here is okay, but that conversion that happened, this was mainly during your transmission. On the other hand, sound energy is coming back. And it's going to be again, this piezoelectrical material here, which is going to convert that sound energy back into electrical energy so it can be carried through the electrical wire. But this conversion was mainly going to be what happened during reception. But we then have, as in this transducer, yes, that's going to be a case. You have seen that, as for most of the transducers, that's going to be made out of some plastic-like material. Okay. We're going to have, as an insulator, mainly as, which tries to, insulate so that energy doesn't escape out of the transducer, because otherwise it's going to be as He says, electrical energy, you may get an electrical shock or something like that. So that's not going to be fun either. Clear? Okay. Things like that. Okay. But as far as, the function of the transducer is going to be concerned, it's going to be as these three components here that we will talk about one by one. Did you guys get that?
Yep.
Good. Now, just so in case that I don't forget it. But as I've said, yes, something, yes, may go under more than one name. So yes, word V, yes, Generally, yes, in the text may refer to as backing material. It's also known as the damping material. Is that clear? So you may come across questions where they use the word damping material, but what they actually is, okay, what they mainly just mean by damping material is the backing material. Okay, so your job is going to be as okay to remember both of these names here. That the backing material also can be referred to as the damping material. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. Now our oh shit, okay, that's fine. We can say it's okay what we called. Now here we just write PZT. Okay, now PZT, guys. Okay, that is what, okay. Okay, now what the PZT actually stands for is lead zirconate titanate. Yeah, okay. Now this is actually as okay the name of what we can call the piezoelectrical material. Material used in transducers. Okay, so we just come back to yes, okay, piezoelectrical material in just a little bit. Okay, by mainly yes, okay, we'll just abbreviate it as PZT. Okay, which is the piezoelectrical material used in, yes, okay, we can say ultrasound transducers. Okay, now some of you will say, where does the term PZT come from? Now, guys, that is what we know it under in regular English. But the clinical, or the actual chemical name of lead is plumbum. Which means that, okay, it has the symbol PB. So from the plum, okay, the P from plumbum, which is the name of lead, they took this. The Z from zirconate, they took this. And the T from titanate, they took this. Clear? Okay. That's how it became as okay, PZT. Okay. Or we just as okay, abbreviated as PZT. But what the actual material is, it is lead zirconate titanate. Okay. Well, what is it that this lead zirconate titanate is going to be? It is going to be as okay, what we will refer to as a piezoelectrical material. Okay, so this PZT as okay can also be referred to as, or can also be known as the piezoelectrical material. Yeah, okay. It can also be called the ferroelectrical material. In later chapters, we may actually refer to as okay, this piezoelectrical material here to be as okay, what we can be calling active elements. Is that clear?
Yes.
These active elements here is okay, can also be called crystals. Okay. Now what in the blue is it that they are? They are all just referring to the same substance, which we call the piezoelectrical material, ferroelectrical material, or the active elements, or the crystals. Okay. Or roughly saying, yes, okay, the PZT. Okay. Now, guys, as far as, okay, as the matching layer is concerned, well, okay, it has no nickname. So no synonym for your matching material or matching layer. So backing material, yes, okay, goes under the nickname or the synonym, or it can also be referred to as the damping material, what we call the piezoelectrical material. Let's put it this way, or let's go this way and say, well, okay, we're going to refer it to as a piezoelectrical material. That piezoelectrical material, we can also call it, for transducers, PZT, which is thus the abbreviation or the symbolic abbreviation of the material that we use in transducers as a piezoelectrical material, which is lead zirconate titanate. But this piezoelectrical material can also be called a ferroelectrical material. We also, as okay, later on refer to as the active elements, and or we will also refer to as the crystals. Yeah, okay. And even, yes, okay, in some cases, yes, okay, you may just see the word element. Okay. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Any questions?
Nope.
Nope. Okay, guys. Let us just talk a little bit about, or primarily about, yes, okay, what we call piezoelectrical material. Now, guys, when we use the word material, we can say it's okay, that's means it's okay because it's going to be, it's okay, some sort of a physical substance. Yeah. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Yep.
Now, let us put it this way, because that's okay, there are going to be some forms of energy that you can't see, that you can't feel. Sound energy may be one of them. You may feel sound energy, but that has to be as okay, a super big boom. Then you feel the pressure of that, the physical pressure, right? Okay, of that. Okay. But just okay to understand, it's okay, what in the is it that a piezoelectrical material is. Now you may, as okay, here in the background of my room, or as okay, even in the room that you're sitting in, having a source of light on. Yeah, okay. A bulb of one sort, a bulb or a tube light or LED light or whatever you call it. Okay. But what is it that that light receives? Or what does it run on?
Electricity.
Electricity. It doesn't run on Duncan's, right? Right. Okay. Clear. Okay. So it runs on electricity. Or we can mainly say, okay, what is it that it is going to use? Okay, or it's going to be the form of energy that it will be receiving electrical energy. Clear? Okay. Okay. Now, had there not been something in your light bulb that was going to be able to convert that electrical energy into another form of an energy, what was it that your light bulb was going to do? Electrocute your room, right? Clear? Okay. So what they have in the light bulb, now I don't know whether some of you have looked into a light bulb, but there's a small thing that they call filament. And it's actually going to be that filament that you can say it's okay, maybe it's okay, it just gets warmed up pretty instantly. And as a result of that, produce the light. But in this case, here we can say it's okay. What is it that that light filament is? It's an example of a piezoelectrical material. Because what is it that it did? In the case of the light bulb, it converted that electrical energy into light energy. Did that make sense? Yeah, okay. Likewise, yes, okay, your stove. Now, if you have an electrical stove, good. Or if you have a gas stove, good. Okay. Clear? Okay. Now, what is it that they do both do? Yes, okay. We can take the electrical stove. It runs on electricity as well, right? Clear? Okay. But what you still see in your electrical stove is that that's going to be, yes, okay, again, a filament. Now, here's okay, what is going to be the effect of that filament? It will warm up as it gets hit by electrical energy. And what does it do? It converts that electrical energy into heat energy. So that filament in your stove as well is an example of a piezoelectrical material. So your refrigerator runs on electricity. Okay, but that electricity is mainly as okay, that's going to be converted into, you can say, okay, cool energy or something. But it's going to be as okay, something then your refrigerator is going to as okay, be stimulated and actually as okay, convert that energy or electrical energy into a cooler temperature. Okay, so that's all only possible because of piezoelectrical materials. So what piezoelectrical materials does, it converts one form of energy into another. Did you guys get that? Okay, so what they made is okay, just determined was that as far as okay, as your transducer is concerned, well, okay, yes, the transducer receives sound energy. No, sorry, to begin with, yes, okay, electrical energy. But we didn't want to produce electrical energy or transmit electrical energy to the patient. We would like to just, okay, transmit sound energy. So they had to find a material which was going to be able to convert sound electrical energy into sound energy. And that's when they came out, or they found out this material here called lead zirconate titanate. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And what we actually can say is the ability of a piezoelectrical material to produce or to convert an energy from one form into another form is mainly as okay what we can call a piezoelectrical effect. So the effect of a piezoelectrical material, which is going to be as okay, its ability to convert one form of energy into another, is going to be referred to as a piezoelectrical effect. Okay, is that clear? And that's actually okay, a whole process. But we're not going to go into the details of that as long as you know that. Okay. So the effect of a piezoelectrical material is going to be a piezoelectrical effect. Whether that piezoelectrical effect was your light bulb converting electrical energy into light energy. Okay, your stove creating as okay, converting that electrical energy into heat energy. Okay, your car converting yes, okay, fuel energy into combustion energy, which becomes yes, okay, mechanical energy. Did that make sense? Yeah, okay. Any questions? So what we mainly can say is, okay, the actual component in your ultrasound transducers that causes the conversion of energy of just, okay, one form of energy into another, which during transmission was from electrical to sound energy, and during reception back, that's okay, from sound energy back into electrical energy is going to be the piezoelectrical material, okay, as an effect of what we can call as, okay, the piezoelectrical effect. Did you guys get that? Okay. And for our ultrasound transducers, okay, the material that is used for a piezoelectrical activity is, of a piezoelectrical material is lead zirconate titanate, abbreviated as PZT. Okay, but also goes under the names such as active elements and crystals, or even just elements. Okay, and or yes, okay, we may also refer to as your ferroelectrical material. Okay. Any questions? Good. Now, guys, due to strategic reasons, I will be, yes, okay, jumping a little ahead, a little around in this chapter here. Okay. So since, yes, okay, we just briefly, yes, okay, talked about sorry. Or briefly, yes, okay, just got into the introduction of, yes, okay, piezoelectrical materials. what I would like you guys to do is go to page 120 in your book. Okay, and don't go and say, Mike, what about what the hell do you call that fellow? What about the matching layer? What about the backing material? Don't worry about it. We'll come back to those. Okay, we will come back to those. But since we just talked about piezoelectrical material, so let us just go and talk a little bit about some extra details about the piezoelectrical material. Okay, or what we can call the PZT. Now, guys, the PZT or the piezoelectrical material in the transducers. Okay, now this is not something that is naturally formed. This actually is What the? I don't know why the hell is doing this to me today. The PZT or the lead zirconate titanate, that is actually synthetic, which mainly means that it is man-made. Okay, so it's not something that you will find as such in this form here in the nature, in Mother Nature. Okay, but it's mainly that they took some lead, they added it together with some zirconate, and they put it together with another salt called titanate. Okay, and that's how you got it. Is that clear?
Yes.
Good. Now, what was the whole purpose of the PZT? If you look at it as being component of your transducer, was mainly to convert the electrical energy into sound energy, and this conversion here was during transmission. And yes, not to talk, but we can also say it's that on the other hand, convert this sound energy is back into electrical energy. But this conversion here is was during reception. Okay. Now, what we actually can say is that yes, the process primarily we can say of converting Well, let's do it this way. Converting is okay in this instance, is okay. The electrical energy to sound energy. The process this process of converting electrical energy into sound energy is going to be known as polarization. Is that clear? Okay, what we made is okay, just can say is okay that the outcome of this polarization, which was the process, okay, is in this case is okay going to be is okay what we can call the piezoelectrical effect. Did you guys get that? So the process by which a piezoelectrical material produces a piezoelectrical effect is called polarization. Did that make sense? Or you can say the process of creating a piezoelectrical effect by a piezoelectrical material is called polarization. Okay. Now, guys, polarization, it's okay. It is going to be a term that you will hear being used in different subjects with their own meanings. Clear? Okay. Okay. But for in this case, yes, okay, what we will refer to as polarization is going to be the process of a piezoelectrical material converting, or it's okay, you can say establishing or producing a piezoelectrical effect. Did that make sense? Now, it may sound crazy, but this piezoelectrical effect here was first discovered by a French physicist. Okay. So the first time where, okay, yes, we can say it's okay that the piezoelectrical effect was discovered, not invented, discovered because it had been there for a long time. Okay, but somebody just found out, okay, materials or some materials may have, yes, okay, this ability of receive one form of energy as okay, created into another or converted into another. Did that make sense? But the even crazier part is that okay, yes, that okay, different materials may yes, okay, or they will have to reach to a certain temperature for them to yes, okay, create that piezoelectrical effect. or we can say it's okay, we're able to polarize. Okay, so the very best other half of that physicist who first discovered the piezoelectrical effect, it was his wife who actually has found some of the temperatures for those piezoelectrical materials at which they were able to polarize, or we can say, actually were able to produce a piezoelectrical effect. And what better could be done than to name that temperature after her? So that's why you may see that, yes, your book talks of, you guys don't mind if I go to another slide, right?
Nope.
Yep, good. So you may see, yes, something that, okay. A Curie point, okay? Now this Curie point here is, can also be known as the Curie temperature. So what is that this Curie point or Curie temperature is going to be? We can mainly say, it's going to be the temperature at which, now we can here say, say that Naya name will. Okay. Piezoelectrical material, which we also can call is a PCT, for our instance here, for a transducer, is going to polarize. And what do we mean by polarize? Mainly as to carry out the process to, we can say create a piezoelectrical effect. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Hey guys, just give me 1 minute and I'll be right back, okay? Good. Now, so if good is good, and too much good is bad, what would that mean? You can say, it will be okay. It will be okay for a piezoelectrical material to get to the Curie point. Clear? Okay, which is the suitable temperature for that piezoelectrical material to be able to, you can say, polarize. Now, what I mean, that will be able to, to carry out the process, or actually going to be able to, carry or produce a piezoelectrical effect. Clear? Okay. But If, for instance, okay, your transducers are exposed to temperature which are greater than the Curie point, what is going to happen then? That will actually say, okay, that too much good becomes bad. That's actually going to damage your piezoelectrical material, or crystals as we call that. Clear? Okay? And as a result of that, it will not be able to polarize. It will not be able to polarize, and hence not be able to produce a piezoelectrical effect, or will not be able to convert the energy from one form into the next form. Clear? Okay. So the other thing that we can say is that, let's do it this way. The inability of the piezoelectrical material to polarize is going to be called depolarization. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Now, one of the reasons for that can be, it's okay, we can say it's okay, too much, that's not right, heat, too much temperature. Yeah, okay. Which may cause, you can say it's okay, structural or physical damages to the piezoelectrical material. Yeah, okay. Or for instance, okay, if you take the transducer and bang it against the wall. The reason that we also call them crystals, because what is it that crystals are? What is it that crystals are? Do you guys have a crystal chandelier? No, okay. Do you have any crockery made out of crystals? A crystal ball or something like that? Okay. Yes, Teresa, what is it that you will tell your kids not to do?
Don't touch it and don't look at it. Don't go near it
Why?
because it's very expensive.
Okay, and on top of being expensive, it is also,
Very breakable.
okay, what's another word for breakable?
Fragile.
Fragile. Here we go. Clear. Okay. Okay. And of course, don't put that crystal ball into the microwave. Okay. Okay. But you can say it's okay. Anything that you cook or make has a Curie point, right? You say it's okay, I want to boil an egg. There's going to be, it's okay, a certain temperature or for a certain time that egg will be exposed to that temperature, and okay, yes, it will boil into, yes, okay, a soft boiled egg. If you keep on boiling it, it's going to just become a hard boiled egg. Clear? Okay. Okay. But anyway, yes, okay, your Christmas dinner or the main thing that you made for Christmas dinner, or yes, okay, that Thanksgiving turkey. If you forget about it being in the oven, what's going to happen? that turkey dinner or that turkey Thanksgiving turkey is going to just end up as a piece of charcoal. Okay, why? Because we're exposed to a temperature which was more than the Curie point for the turkey. So what is the Curie point for the turkey? Yes, where you get as a nice cooked turkey, which is edible. All you can say is here is going to be able to just polarize. Clear? Did that make sense? Okay, guys. Now, as far as we can say it's cleaning medical utensils is concerned. Okay, we have 3 levels. There's one that we call sanitation, which is mean as just regular wiping. Okay, and that can be as regular as regular water or distilled water. Okay, that's what we call as disinfection, where we may use a disinfectant material. Right, okay? And the last is going to be as what we call sterilization. Did you guys get that? Okay. Now, if you just look at the last one, and the reason that I take that up first is we say it's sterilization. Now, what this here mainly is in most cases will include is going to be as very, 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 very high temperatures. Okay. If not very high temperatures, very, 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 very high levels of energy. Okay. Now, first ways we just look at it as a form of temperature. This high level of temperature is what is that going to do? That's going to, you can say, depolarize the transducer. Or mainly it's say it's destroy the transducer. Clear? Okay. Which may cause that yes, we will not be able to sterilize the transducer. Okay. But the question is, does the transducer, do they really need to get sterilized? And the answer to that is no. The transducers do not need to get sterilized. Because one of the only things that needs to get sterilized is going to be, we can say, medical utensils that actually is get in direct contact. Now, please, guys, I say the word direct contact with body fluids, primary signs of blood, or yes, mucous membranes. And your transducers do not get in direct contact with body fluids or mucosas, or internal structures of the body. Clear? Now, since they don't do that, they do not need to get sterilized. Did that make sense? Clear? Okay. Otherwise, yes, okay, you can say, yes, okay, transducer mainly, yes, okay, would have been, yes, okay, a one-time using, yes, okay, piece of equipment, which was going to, yes, okay, carry, or yes, okay, running an ultrasound lab, becoming, yes, okay, an expensive affair. Because you had, yes, okay, once you sterilize the transducer, well, okay, it was physically damaged. So, yes, okay, you couldn't really reuse it again. Did that make sense? Clear? Okay. So, guys, mainly because your transducers, that's okay, whenever they are going to be used, are going to be, as okay, used primarily as okay on top of the body. And the only thing that they may get in contact with is going to be as okay intact skin. Okay, so not even an open wound. Okay. So due to that, that's why it doesn't need to get sterilized, but just okay, disinfection is going to be enough. Okay. So what is that you do when you go to just okay get your blood work done? They don't sterilize you. Okay. They're not going to go so low and that's okay, you can say cleaning. And says okay, just sanitize, but they're going to disinfect. So they're rubbing alcohol, as okay, alcohol swab is a disinfectant. Is that clear? And that's going to be more than enough. Okay. Now that needle that they use, since that is introduced into your body, or you can say, okay, not just into the body, but actually into your bloodstream, that needle is sterile. That needle is sterile. So yes, okay, you shouldn't be touching that with your bare hands because your hands can never be sterile. You can wash them from now till doomsday, and yes, okay, they are not going to get sterile. Is that clear? So mainly because, and I repeat my words, mainly because the transducers does not come in direct contact with body fluids such as blood and so on, so on, so, and in direct contact with internal mucosal membranes. It does not need to get sterilized. Now, some of you may have heard of it. Some of you may have seen it. And maybe some of you may have even, yes, okay, personally experienced it. A vaginal transducer. Or what they call as a transvaginal. Now, yes, okay, although, yes, okay, that will be, yes, okay, you can, as per the name says, inserted, yes, okay, into the vagina. Clear, okay? But even then, the transducer itself does not come in direct contact with the mucosa, as okay, the lining of the vagina. So, why? Because they have covered that transducer with a cover. Okay? Just to be as okay, easy and creative as okay, they use a regular condom for that. Okay, now there's two reasons for that because okay, what they will be using on a transducer no matter what. that we say is okay, whatever transducer. That just says okay, a vaginal transducer. They will still be as okay using what they will call gel. And the whole function of this gel is okay, we'll talk about that in just a little bit. But even as okay, if it was just okay, introduced into the vagina, the last thing that somebody would like to do is that okay, once this transducer is pulled out, okay, now we need to scoop out the gel. So that's why it's okay that the mean is okay, just put a forward. Yeah, okay. So that's going to be as okay, pouring on top of the transducer. Okay, which mainly is okay, and we can say okay, this is going to be as okay a barrier between is okay, what we can say is okay, the transducer, and in this case is okay, the mucosal membrane. Okay. Now I have even heard that okay, they have started to doing as okay, have what they call as okay, rectal transducers. Yes, okay, via the rectum. Okay, but again, yes, okay, the same concept that okay, yes, because you still will have to, yes, okay, apply gel onto it. And the purpose of that gel is okay, we'll talk about that later on today. Okay, but again, yes, okay, since it will be introduced, and the last thing that somebody would like to do is, well, okay, once the transducer has been pulled up, okay, now we need to, yes, okay, scoop this gel out. Okay, so that's why it's okay, it will be as okay cold. There's a kind of examination that we call chi. Let me just clear this up. There's something that is called chi. Not the chi that you drink, but chi double E. Have anybody ever heard of chi? It's okay to say no, we haven't heard of it.
No.
Okay, it's not the t-shirt and it's not the chi as in t-shirt. Yes, Kathleen, you want to say something there?
Oh, I was just saying I don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is. Okay, but that's why I can tell you what it is. Not just you, everybody. So yes, okay, this is just an abbreviation. Oh my God. So the chi stands for trans. The first E stands for esophageal. And the last E is echocardiography. Okay, guys. Now, what was it that an echocardiography was? It's an ultrasound. Now, in normal cases, unusual cases, okay, what you will see is, well, okay, yes, if they run an echocardiography to check on the heart, they mainly as okay, will do that from the top of the chest. Clear, okay, and okay, yes, whatever sound waves goes and come back, sound wave goes and come back, that's okay, will be displayed on your screen as the image of the heart. But guys, there are going to be circumstances where you still have to check on the heart as it is beating. But where you don't, or where you may not have the ability to do that from the top of the chest. Mainly because there may be people who have opened up the chest and are working on this heart here. So what is it behind the heart? That's where you have the esophagus. And what they mainly will do is through the esophagus run an echocardiography. Where you mainly can say that probe, ultrasound probe, is run through the esophagus, placed right behind the heart. And the recording is going to be taken. But of course, there's going to be gel on that probe. But that probe, all the getting into an internal organ. But the probe itself is never going to be directly in contact with the internal mucosal membrane. Okay, so even in a T or a transesophageal echocardiography, that probe or transducer, of course, is with a longer wire here, is going to be covered up in or you can call it a probe cover. So it never gets in direct contact with the esophagus in this case here. Right. So yes, a lot of the, and some of you say, what about the patient? Well, yes, he is sedated, so he or she is not going to know what has been going on. Yeah, okay. So that's for us. Some of the cases, that's where we used to do heart surgeries. We mainly had it as a part of the protocol to have running a continuous echo being performed on the patient. And since it was 3-4 people standing on top of the just working from the front through that open chest on the heart inside the patient. There was not going to be room enough for as a fifth person just just sneak a hand in between to run the ultrasound or the echo. So that's where they go. That's in through the esophagus, and from that way, just place the probe behind the heart, and as it continuously scans the heart as we are operating on it. So that kind is going to be what we call a transesophageal echocardiography. Or you can say, just flip the words a little bit around and says, an echocardiograph across, through the, or across the esophagus. Did that make any sense? Okay, but even in that case, that's okay. Your transducer will be covered up in a layer or in a cover. Any questions? Okay, guys. So since the transducer doesn't come in direct contact with body fluids such as blood, primarily, and yes, okay, the internal mucosa membranes. That's why it does not need to get sterilized. Did that make sense? Okay. Now, guys, let's take a good 15, let's say 20 minutes. That's fine. 20 minutes and read, yes, okay, these few topics that we talked about. Okay. And when we come back, yes, okay, we will talk a little bit about, yes, okay, let's say, yes, okay, the size of your piezoelectrical material or active elements, and what the importance of that is going to be. Is that clear? So would it be fair that I say that I see you guys back at 11 o'clock? Good. Take care today. Any questions? Nope. Good. So just one last point about, yes, okay, the piezoelectrical material or PCT, etc., and that is going to be, let me just do it this way. Because from experience, now please keep in mind, guys, okay, this piezoelectric material is also what we can call the active element. We will also, yes, okay, it can also be referred to as the crystal. Okay, we can call it the piezoelectrical material, or we can call it the ferroelectrical material. And in some cases, okay, people may just refer to as the element. Now, guys, in this chapter here, we talk about the thickness. In later chapters, we may talk about, yes, okay, other dimensions of the piezoelectrical material. But the main thing that we'll be referring to here and now is going to be the thickness. Now let us just draw a person. Facing you. Now this person's size here, let's put it this way. The size of this person here can be measured in 3 dimensions. Clear? Okay. One dimension that we will talk about here is going to be the thickness. Two other dimensions which will be as okay brought up in other chapters respectively is going to be as okay his height, and we can say it's okay the width or breadth. No D in breadth. Okay. No, it is a D. It is a D. What the hell? That's why English is a funny language. Just yes, okay, display that in different colors. Now, when we talk about the height of this person, that is going to be this dimension here. That's going to be his height. So guys, that's okay. In a later chapter, that's okay. We will talk about, that's okay, the height of the PCG or the height of the crystal or active element or whatever. Is that clear? The other dimension that we also can talk about is going to be, okay, what we can call the width or the breadth of this person here, which is going to be this dimension here. So this dimension is okay, that is going to be the breadth, or that's okay, we can say it's okay, the width of this person. And we're also going to talk about this width or breadth of the PCG, but in a later chapter. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Good. So looking at me from top to toe, or from toes to the top of the head, that's going to be my height, right? Clear? Okay. When you say it's okay, the span from shoulder to shoulder, or even as okay, if I go like this, okay, you can say for fingertip to fingertip, that's going to be the width. But let's just say it's okay that because what the PCGs or the crystals are going to be is they are going to be lined up side by side. So they're going to have, it's okay, a certain width. And what is that width going to be? The dimension or the size of it from side to side. Did that make sense? Okay, just like, yes, okay, in the person that we saw here, that says, okay, his width or his breadth, that is going to be, yes, okay, the distance from one end of the shoulder to the other end of the shoulder, or whatever. Did that make sense? Clear? Okay, so where the hell is the thickness? Now, guys, yes, okay, to know about, it's okay, what we'll call the thickness. You guys mind if I flip over to another slide?
No.
No.
Good. Because it's okay, it will be the very same person. Let's just be gentle. So this dimension here, That's going to be the thickness. Where we, okay, just said that, okay, yes. This dimension here is okay, that was the height. Right, okay, well, okay, yes. Or even if yes, okay, put this person. Shit. Yes, okay, like this. We can say yes, okay. This here, that would be the height. And then of course, yes, okay. This here is okay, that was B is breadth. Or we can say it's okay, the width. Okay, guys. So when we talk about the PCT thickness, now we can mainly say as okay, we are looking at the transducer from the side. We say as okay, this here is your PCT. If this whole thing here is okay. From here to here was the PCT. Then this dimension here, that is going to be the thickness. Okay, whereas if we look at the PCT from the front, mainly as okay, this area here, that's going to be as okay, what comes in contact with the surface of the skin. And what we actually will see is that there's going to be, but that's something that we talk more about in later chapters, but we actually see that, okay, there will be multiple PCTs lined up like this. Where in that case, mainly we'll say that, okay, yes, this dimension here is okay, that is going to be the height of the PCTs. And in this instance, we can say that, okay, yes, this here, that is going to be the width of the PCTs. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, let me just see one thing. Or if you look here, let me just. Can you guys see this picture here?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So what remaining can say is you can see that this area here, that's mainly as okay. This is what's going to as okay becoming in contact with the patient's skin. Okay, but what is that we have in this area here? Is okay, that's going to be as okay. Image is okay, that's going to be as okay. PCT lined up like this. Okay, where we mean you can see that. Now, I mean, that we also the way that yours the transducer, but this, yes, okay, that's going to be the height of the PCTs. Where we mean is okay, then let's can see that from here to here, that is going to be the width of the PCTs. Yeah, okay, whereas the thickness, that's mainly going to be as okay. In the transducer is okay, where the PCTs are going to be as okay located. Then this is going to be as okay the width. So what we just witnessed was mainly as okay the area over here. Okay, but this is going to be as okay the thickness of the PCTs. The dimension is okay from back to front. That would be the thickness. From top to bottom would be the height, and from side to side would be the width. Now, what is going to be as okay the importance of this thickness of the PCT? And we can mainly say that, okay, yes, the thickness of the PCT. Now, before I get to that, guys, is there anybody who has the least doubt about what thickness is? Or what we will refer to the thickness?
No.
Okay. So this dimension here from shoulder to shoulder is width or breadth. This dimension here is thickness. Here. Okay. And from top to bottom, where it's going to be what we will refer to as height. Clear? Okay. And each of these dimensions here are going to have their own importance. Okay. But in a transducer, where we say that the thickness of the PCT is going to be, the thickness of the PCT is going to be equal to half of the wavelength. Did you guys get that? Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Good. So what can we say? Let's do it this way and say, well, okay, yes, we have a transducer. This transducer here is okay, has PCTs, and those PCTs is okay, have a thickness. Now the dimension or the size of this thickness is going to be equal to half the size of a wavelength. Now, what would that mean? We can mean, yes, okay, just see that. Let's suppose that we had a transducer which produced that sound wave with a wavelength of 1 millimeter. Did that make sense? Okay. that the wavelength of the wave produced by this transducer here is okay, was 1 millimeter. That may mean that, okay, yes, the thickness of your PCT is going to be half of that wave, of the size of that wavelength, which mainly cause that, okay, is what's going to be the half of the wavelength, which was 1 millimeter, is going to be half a millimeter. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. Some of you will say, so what if we had a transducer? Or what if we say, it's okay, we had a transducer where the wavelength was, let's say, it's okay, 2 millimeters. Okay, where we had a wavelength of 2 millimeters. How is that going to be possible? Well, that's going to be possible if the thickness of your PCT was 1 millimeter. Did you guys get that? What if the wavelength, for instance, okay, was 3 millimeters, although it's okay, that's beyond the normal range, but just say it. Okay, how would that be possible? That was going to be possible because the thickness of your PCT in this case here was then going to be, it's okay, 1.5 millimeter. Did you guys get that? Good. Now, guys, what did we say back in the book? Or somewhere last year? What did we say that, okay, yes, determines the wavelength? What
The
determines
source and the medium. The source and the medium.
source and the medium? Okay, okay. But in the medium, we could mainly say, okay, that was just going to change as a result of the changing speed. Right? Okay. But now when we said source back, then I said, well, okay, for now, just remember transducer, right? Right? Good. Now, in the transducer, as we are talking about now, can you see what component of the transducer actually is okay, sets the wavelength? It's the PCT. And let's put it this way, what characteristic of the PCT sets the wavelength? What characteristic or what feature of the PCT determines the wavelength of that specific transducer?
The thickness?
The thickness. Here we go. Very good, Teresa. Right? Okay. It will be the thickness of your PCT that will set, or let's say it's okay, determine the wavelength of the wave produced by that transducer. Yeah. Okay. So if the wavelength was, or let's say it's okay, if the PCT was the quarter of a millimeter thick. Then it would produce a wavelength which was going to be half a millimeter. If your PCT wall had a thickness of half a millimeter, it will produce a wavelength of 1 millimeter. If the PCT had a thickness of 1 millimeter, the wavelength would be 2 millimeters, and so on. Did you guys get that? So what we previously said, source determines the wavelength of the wave. Now we got more specific to that. Okay, it says source will occur as transducer. Now in the transducer, what is the actual component that determines your wavelength? Is going to be the PCT. Clear? Okay, but what characteristic or feature or whatsoever of the PCT is actually determining the wavelength is going to be the thickness. Did you guys get that? Any doubts or any questions? Nope. Okay, guys, but please, 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 please do not confuse the thickness with width. Do not confuse the width with height. And do not confuse the height with thickness. These are 3 different dimensions. And each of these dimensions here are going to just, okay, determine different things as far as, okay, at the sound, wave, pulse, or beam is concerned. So the wavelength of your pulse, or sorry, of your sound wave, is determined by the thickness of the PCT. Any questions? Now, guys, if we just looked at wavelength, do we know some relationships of wavelength? We can say it's okay, a transducer with, let's say it's okay, a small wavelength versus okay, a transducer is okay. Let's just say it's okay, a transducer with a greater wavelength versus okay, a transducer with an even greater wavelength. We also have, yes, okay. Now this fellow here, he or she is going to have, yes, okay, a small period, right? This fellow here is okay, which had a greater wavelength, is going to have, okay, as a greater period. Right? Where we can say as okay, this here is okay. With a greater wavelength will have okay as an even greater period. Did that make sense? Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. So we can mainly say, okay, this one here is okay, that has the thinnest PCT. We can say, okay, this one here may have a thick PCT. And we can say, okay, this one here then have the thickest PCT, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can just say, okay, draw, let's say, okay, the different PCTs. Okay, shit. This one's a thin PCT. We may have, okay, yes, slightly thicker PCT, or we will have a even more thicker PCT. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
How did we establish that? Because we know that the wavelength is directly proportional to period. So would it be wrong to say that the thickness of the PCT determines the period? It would not be wrong. It is correct to say that, right? So back in chapter 3, when we said wavelength or period is determined by source. Source was transducer. But which component of your transducer determines the period? The PCT. But what characteristic of the PCT? Its thickness. Did that make sense? So you can say it's okay, a PCT with a smaller thickness has a smaller wavelength, hence have a shorter period. A PCT with a greater thickness has a greater wavelength, hence a greater period, right? Did that make sense? Any questions?
No.
No, you good? Everybody good so far? Okay. Now, is there another thing that this wavelength and frequency here is related to? Yes, Gaius. Is there anything else that this wavelength or period is related to?
They're inversely proportional to the frequency.
Exactly. So what would that mean? Now there's going to be one exception here, but well, now we can mainly say, okay, the transducer with the thinnest PCT has the shortest wavelength, the shortest period, and hence the highest frequency. Whereas on the other hand, we can say that, okay, as this transducer here with the greatest wavelength, with the greatest period due to the thickest PCT, will have the lowest frequency. Okay. But this relationship between wavelength and or period and the frequencies is only for what we'll call imaging transducers, or what will also have been as, okay, your pulsed wave transducers. Okay. So please be with that. But at least for now, we can say it's okay. That's going to be, it's okay, one of the things that we will talk about. Where the thickness of the PCT main is okay, will end up playing a role in, is okay, also is okay, determining the frequency of the transducers. Or where we can mean says, okay, the thinner the PCT, the shorter the wavelength, the shorter the wavelength, the shorter the period, the shorter the period, the higher the frequency of that transducer, or vice versa. Thicker PCT will have a greater wavelength, will have a greater period, and due to that greater period, due to that greater wavelength, have a lower frequency. Now, does anybody have any questions? So you can be given a question saying, yes, okay, a transducer produces a wavelength with a distance of this much, right? Okay, or wavelength of this much. Now, wavelength is always going to be, as okay, expressed in a unit of wavelength distance, which would be
Meters.
meters or fractions or multiples of that, right? Okay. 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 Good. So, but then we will say, okay, what's going to be the thickness of your PCT? It is straightforward. Just half that wavelength, and that's going to be the thickness of the PCT. Okay, so if a wavelength was 3 meters long, well, okay, but not an ultrasound, but anyways, okay, it's going to be 1.5 meters. Okay, if you say it's okay, 3 millimeters, then the thickness, sorry, of your PCT will be 1.5 millimeter. Did you guys get that? Okay. So there's going to be, okay, you can say, okay, there will be a layer of PCT, but they mainly, okay, place multiple, even as, okay, in the thickness fade, there's going to, okay, be multiple layers of PCTs, but each layer of the PCT is going to be half, each layer of those PCT is going to be half that of your wavelength of the sound wave produced by that specific transducer. Did you guys get that? Okay. So what was the material? What was the material that made up our standard piezoelectrical material in a transducer? What did we call that?
You mean the crystals?
Good. Crystal is just a term that we refer to. What is the name of the material?
Lead zirconate? Titanate?
Titanate, exactly.
Okay.
Lead zirconate titanate. Okay. Okay. That's where okay, PZT come from. P was just the P for the plum bum, or PB, which is the chemical symbol of lead. Yeah, okay. Zirconate is mainly as okay. Another element, or zircon, is another element. Where do you see zircon?
Like
Zirconium?
Huh? Where do you come across the word zircon?
cubic zirconium.
Okay. Next time you go to buy a pair of earrings or a ring with gemstones in it and so on, so what is it you will see? Zircon. So that's okay. Many gemstones may be made up of those things. Or even if it's not real gemstones, like okay, as diamond and so on, so on, so it may just be crystal. Diamond is nothing, it's just a crystal, right? Okay. So no wonder, yes, okay, those transducer can cost an arm and a leg. Okay. Good. Any questions? Okay, but it's going to be as okay, the thickness, please, guys. If I don't have to explain the thickness of the transducer again, I can say, yes, okay, you guys will be my favorite batch. So is that a pinky promise that I don't have to explain what we mean by thickness again? Good. Let's see for how long that lasts. But even if I have to explain it 2 more times, you'll still be as okay on the top 3. Okay. Okay, guys. Let's try to get back onto the topic. So, would it be correct to say, now just one last point about, so what have we said so far? Oh, we can say it's okay. That's probably, just see that this is okay, was our transducer. Okay. Is here. which says, okay, was the PZT, piezoelectrical material, or the ferroelectrical material, or the crystals, or the active elements, or just simply called the elements. Okay. What we will see in some transducers is that, okay, yes, they will have this fellow here, is okay, and that's going to be, okay, what we call the backing material. Some people also, okay, it may also be referred to as the damping material. Yeah, okay. And the next is going to be, or the last is going to be this dude here, which is what we call the matching layer. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Good. Now, what we said was that, okay, yes, the PCT was, I guess it's okay that the PCT's thickness equal to half the wavelength. Clear? Okay. Because yes, okay, what was the function of the PCT? Convert, in this case, it's okay, electrical energy into sound energy. And that was just okay during transmission. And likewise, it's okay, convert sound energy is okay back into electrical energy. And that was during reception. Now, guys, the reason that I made all these fellows here all again is because, okay, what we mainly as okay we'll be talking about now is going to be your matching layer. Is that clear?
Yep.
Good. Now, we will come to the functions of the matching layer in just a little bit. Its function. But one thing that the matching layer is going to be is, okay, the thickness of this matching layer is going to be equal to 1/4 of the wavelength. Now, what would that mean? What would that mean? That, for instance, okay, in this case, it's like if our transducer produced a wave that had a wavelength of 1 millimeter, we can actually say that, okay, yes, the thickness of your matching layer had been 1/4 of a millimeter. Clear? Okay. Or we could say as, okay, had the wavelength been 0.5 millimeter, that would mainly have meant that, okay, yes, the thickness of your PCT would have been 1/4 of a millimeter, or the 1/4 of a millimeter. Thick. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Okay. But, as far as, okay, the determining of the wavelength was concerned by the transducer, that was determined by the PCT. Clear? Okay. Now, guys, what's going to be is, okay, the function. That's the most important part. What's going to be the function of this PCT here? Now, let us just, not about PCT, matching there. Now, let's just, okay, remake the transducer. Okay. Now, what we have here is, okay, yes, we have the backing material. We also have, yes, okay, what we call the PCT. And we have, okay, yes, what we call the matching here. Right. Okay. Now, as far as, okay, yes, we can say it's okay, the sound and electrical energy becoming sound energy that happens in the PCT. Right. Now, one thing about the PCT and all the backing material is that these two elements here, what they do have is, okay, yes, impedances which are closely equal to one another. As a matter of fact, that they say is, okay, that the impedance of the PCT equals 20 times the impedance of skin. So let's just assume that the impedance of skin was 1 megareals, for instance. That would have made the impedance of your PCT 20 megareals, which mainly is okay, where you could say it's okay that the impedance of your backing material would have been pretty much the same. So that's okay, also 20 megareals. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Good. Now, what mainly is okay, what happened due to is okay, because this is a very, very high impedance. And what this very, very high impedance mainly is okay, what have been is okay, you can say it's too high. So what that might have caused is that the sound wave had made a direct journey back without even being transmitted. So in all this, guys, what the matching layer is going to be is that is going to, yes, okay, cause that for here, yes, okay, the sound wave is, yes, okay, experience a lesser impedance than the impedance in the PCT. And actually, yes, okay, due to that, the sound wave will be able to proceed from the piezoelectrical material onto the matching layer because of its lower impedance. And what was it we said that the impedance was? The resistance. Yeah, okay. The resistance that the sound wave experienced. Did that make sense? And what we don't want the sound wave to experience is, okay, on its journey from transducer to skin is an increasing impedance. Or I guess it's okay, an increasing resistance. We want that resistance to decrease. Okay, so the only reason that they put a matching layer in the transducer is due to, yes, okay, the high impedance that the sound wave experienced by the PCT. So maybe that's okay, to counteract for that, they put the matching layer, which has a lower impedance. Will say, well, okay, you know what, come over here. Did that make sense? And on the bottom in your book, on page 116, on bottom on page 116, do you see a little purple box? And that's mainly as okay, the bottom line. So what we mainly can say is, okay, in the flow of your sound wave, it's okay, we can say it's okay during transmission. Okay, the areas where we experience is okay, the max impedance is in, okay, yes, the backing material and or in the PCT, because the impedances of both of these here is okay, is going to be as okay 20 times that of skin. Whereas mainly as okay, just going to be in your matching layer. Yes, okay, what do you have? You have a lower impedance, which even get lower in gel. Which even get lower in skin. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So the purpose of your matching layer as far as a component of the transducer is to reduce the impedance that the sound wave experiencer will be able to proceed ahead. Did that make sense? So had it not been for the matching layer, what most likely would have happened was that the sound wave produced in the piezoelectrical material had made a U-turn right there and gone back. Forget about it's okay reaching to the skin. Forget about it's okay getting deeper to the skin, because it remain have made a U-turn within the transducer itself and moved back. Did that make sense? Okay, so actually you can say, okay, to enable the sound wave to be able to just, okay, exit the transducer, you reduce the impedance, and that was done by a material called the matching layer. Okay. Now, do you guys still have this sheet with you? It. Yes, okay. If you look right above where it says transducers, it says reason for gel. Can you see that? Okay, if you don't have it, that's fine, but that's where you'll find it. And the question then is, why in the blue is it that we apply gel onto the transducer? Now, some of you may say it's okay because it is a lubricant. That's okay. That may make sense. Because that's okay, what is that going to do? It's going to reduce the friction between the transducer and the skin. But that's not the real reason. The real reason is that, okay, yes, that gel has an impedance which is lesser than that of the matching layer. And what did that cause? Less resistance. If you experience less resistance, you will be able to just, okay, pass through, right? Did that make sense? And now it gets to the skin. And after that, it's going to be as, okay, all determined by the tissues that the sound wave will come across. Okay. Or we can say it's okay, the impedances of those tissues that the sound wave will come across that will determine how much energy is going to get reflected back as a reflection. Did you guys get that? So without gel, yes, okay, the sound wave would have experienced to have an impedance to be able to just, okay, reach the skin. So most of it would have reflected back and you will have no image. Okay, so the reason for gel is not to act as a lubricant, or I may do, yes, okay, two jobs, okay, but its main purpose was mainly as, okay, to reduce the impedance. And now if you look in your table, well, it's okay, table, yes, okay, that little box. The impedances in a decreasing order where the medians, okay, just start from the greatest to the lowest is the PCT, matching layer, gel, and skin. Whereas, okay, if we started from the other end and say skin, then gel, then matching layer, then PCT, that would have been in a increasing order. Is that clear? Okay. But, if you're given a list and say, yes, okay, is this in a decreasing decreasing order of impedances? But it only says PCT matching layer skin, it is still in a decreasing order, although it's okay, we omitted the gel. Even if I say, yes, okay, backing material, matching layer, gel, and skin, it is still in a decreasing order. Although, yes, okay, I took out the whatever. Clear? Did you guys get that? So as far as the function of the sorry, matching layer is concerned, its wholly and solely and dolly and moly function is to reduce the impedance of the piezoelectrical material, which otherwise was 20 times that of skin. Clear? Okay. And okay, yes. The impedances from PCT to skin, yes, okay, that sequence you just have to remember. But if you look at it, well, okay, yes. As the sound wave passes through the transducer, out of the transducer to the screen, yes, okay, the impedance is made, yes, okay, just decrease further. Although we mainly, yes, okay, can say that, okay, yes, the impedance of both your backing material and the piezoelectrical material have similar impedances, which are going to be, yes, okay. Either of them is going to have an impedance which is 20 times that of skin. Did you guys get that?
Yes.
Good. Any reactions? Any comments? Nope. Okay. Then have a nice lunch break, and I see you guys back at 1 o'clock. Clear? Okay, have fun. Good morning and welcome back. So how is everybody doing? Good? Good. So any questions? No questions?
I have a question actually.
Okay, please.
Will there be a question on a quiz where it would give you the PZT and you would have to then find the matching layer based off of that?
Like a picture in similar to what you have in 8.1?
Yeah, kind of. Like, because you know how you said that if we had wavelength, it would be the matching layer would be a fourth of that. but we also know that the
No, but
PZ.
okay. No, okay, listen. Let me try to answer your question in this way here. And saying that, okay, now, as we said, now we know that wavelength is directly proportional to period, which is inversely proportional to frequency. Clear?
Yep.
Okay, good. Now, what was it that we said about all these three fellows here? Determined by source, right?
Yep.
Clear? Okay. What did we mean by source? The transducer. Clear? Okay. Now, although it's okay. Now, so far we have talked about, let's say, the PZT. Right, okay. And or the matching layer, where we say that, okay, yes, that the thickness of the PCT equal to, yes, okay, half the wavelength. Right, okay. Whereas what we said in the matching layer, that, okay, yes, the thickness of the matching layer here equals 1/4 of the wavelength. Right? Okay. But, what determines or it primarily says, okay, the wavelength, which then directly proportionally determines the period, which inversely proportionally determines the wavelength, is the PCT. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Then we said, okay, it was just going to be sorry, actually that's okay, the thickness of PCT in the transducer that determined the wavelength. But then we says, okay, then what is the thickness of your matching layer is going to be 1/4 of the wavelength. Okay, so you can just say, it's okay, comparing both of these, he says, okay, if we had a wave produced by this transducer here, which for instance, okay, was 1 millimeter. Now, mainly mean that, okay, yes, the thickness of our PCT was going to be as, okay, 1/2 millimeter. Did that make sense?
Yes.
And likewise, well, okay, yes, the thickness of your matching layer in this case is going to be, as, okay, 1/4 millimeter. But in all this, what actually that's okay, determined the wavelength was the thickness of the PCT. We then, okay, directly proportionally, as, okay, also determines the period of the sound wave of the transducer, which is going to be, as, okay, inversely proportional to the frequency of your transducer. This is the dude that determines these three things here of your transducer. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. So that's what you need to know. Okay. I'm not going to give you a picture and say, well, okay, okay, here, measure the thickness of your PCT and measure the thickness of Okay. But you can say, okay, the relationship between the thickness of each of the components is okay, mainly is okay, will be referred to the wavelength. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, guys. So, what can we say? This PCT, which we is okay now strategically is okay, we'll just refer to as crystals. Clear? Okay. And what did we say that this did? Convert electrical energy into sound energy, which is going to be okay, your sound waves. Clear? Now we said that this its thickness is going to be, roughly speaking, directly proportional to the wavelength. Okay. Yeah, okay. And all of it says okay that this wavelength here then was going to be as okay directly proportional to the period. And we then yes okay this becomes inversely proportional to the frequency. Okay. But what we will see is a transducer with a low wavelength, mainly as okay due to a low PCT thickness, or as okay a low period, will be a high frequency transducer. Now, guys, if you guys remember, all the way back in our previous chapter, I said for diagnostic imaging, which for me is okay because that'll be okay. Ultrasound, where our goal mainly is okay was to create an image. Ideally, we want okay as the higher frequency transducer. Because what is it this higher frequency transducer is going to have? That is going to have a lower wavelength. Is that clear? Right? It is going to have a lower wavelength. Okay. And what we mean, you can say that, okay, as this low wavelength here is okay, will lead you that will actually is okay lead to a shorter spatial pulse length. And this shorter spatial pulse length here is going to just okay cause that we will have a better axial resolution. Which may just mean it's okay, now the resolution will mean accuracy. And as far as accuracies are concerned, there's going to be a type of accuracy which is going to be referred to as an axial resolution. Which will be better with shorter wavelengths because that will cause us having a shorter spatial pulse length. Or vice versa. If you, for instance, okay, you had a great thickness of the PCC, that will lead to a great wavelength, a greater period, but then we will have a lower frequency. And this greater wavelength will also cause your spatial pulse length to increase, which actually going to lead to a poor axial resolution. Yeah, okay. So, in an imaging transducer, what is it that we want? We don't want these crystals here to be in a continuous vibration. But we want these crystals here to be more what you can call as okay, pulsatile vibration. Although the electrical signal that runs to the transducer would have been continuous flow. Did that make sense? So yes, okay, if the flow of electrical energy was continuous, that would mean that's okay, had continuously that's okay stimulated your crystals and then would have been in a continuous vibration. Or we can say as okay, we had continuously producing sound waves, right? Right? So that would have been a continuous wave transducer. Did you guys get that? And what is a continuous wave transducer will be? Can we use it for diagnostic imaging? Yes, Dr. O'Brien, you want to say why?
It's therapeutic.
It's therapeutic. It was what we call a non-imaging transducer, right?
Yep.
So here is our mess that we need to fix. So what can we put in this transducer here? Yes, okay, go make it a pulsed wave transducer rather than a continuous wave transducer. Or to make it an imaging transducer versus that's okay rather than a non-imaging transducer. Guys, that is where your backing material comes in. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Right. So what we mainly can say is the structural difference between pulsed wave transducer and a continuous wave transducer is that the pulsed wave transducer has the backing material, which I strategically just will refer to or prefer to call the damping material. Clear? Whereas we can see as okay, a continuous wave transducer does not have the backing material or strategically preferably known as the damping material. So why would I like to call it a damping material? Or prefer the word crystals here versus rather than just saying PCT or piezoelectrical material. Just think of it in this way. You have pieces of crystal. In the chandelier that you may invest in. Okay? And you want, yes, okay, keep that as far as away from, yes, okay, the juniors in the household. That's why it's okay, it's hanging from the roof. Okay, they have to go into, yes, okay, home alone mode to be able to reach that. Anyways, okay, clear, okay. But let us put it this way, yes, okay, you open the door and outside, yes, okay, it is a strong wind. What happens to that chandelier or the crystals in that chandelier? They're going to be vibrating, right? Clear, okay. So now just take this vibration of the crystals here as okay and relate it to as okay, it's going to produce a sound. Clear, okay. Now that would have been continuous, and you would have had a continuous wave transducer, where the crystals or the PCT is continuously vibrating. Clear? Okay. But if our transducer had what we call the backing material or strategically damping material. Now, is there anybody who wants to tell me what does the word damping mean?
Is that to like slow down or reduce?
Slow down or cool down or calm down, right? Clear? Okay. Did that make sense? So if I, for instance, it's sharing like this because it is freaking cold now, right? Okay. Clear? Okay. Now, okay, of course you won't cool me more down because that's going to shiver even more, but you will, okay, just damp me up with a blanket or something like that, right? Okay. Okay. And what is that going to do? That's going to just, okay, reduce the shivering. Okay. So instead of being just, okay, continuously shivering, I mean, like that, okay, in a few pulses. Did that make sense? So what is it at the damping material, backing material, that also is known as the damping material? But yes, no, but strategically, yes, okay, I prefer the word damping material here is because it, that's okay, it tells what it does to the sound. It damps it down. So those continuous sound waves are produced by the PCT. Some of them get damped down, and that's how it's okay. What you end up having is that is going to just okay fire off in pulses rather than continuously. Did you guys get that? Okay, so for now, just keep this much in mind. Okay, that's pulsed wave transducers have backing material. Okay, and what is that backing material going to do? Well, okay, yes, it will help in determining, yes, okay, the size of the pulse. You can make sense, okay, how many cycles will there be per pulse? Because what it will be doing is it will be absorbing some of this, okay, greater or lesser amount of the sound energy produced by the PCT. Clear? Okay? Oh, yes, okay, an XYZ number of the cycles produced by it. Did you guys get that? But if you took out the, that's okay, damping material or backing material, what will you end up having? A continuous wave transducer. Okay, and a continuous wave transducer, well, okay, yes, it will keep on producing sound as long as it is being provided with, in this case, it's okay, electrical energy, because those crystals will be in a continuous vibration. Did you guys get that? Okay. So that's going to be as okay a major difference or structural difference between pulsed wave transducer versus what the hell you call that? Continuous wave transducer. Continuous wave transducer, also known as therapeutic transducer, also known as non-imaging transducer, does not have backing material. Whereas a pulse wave transducer, also known as an imaging transducer, will have backing material. Did you guys get that? Okay. Now in ultrasound, we may still be using transducers which are continuous wave transducers. Okay. The only thing that we won't be expecting is to be able to, yes, okay, get a picture. That's why we call it non-imaging, right? Okay. But, yes, okay, we actually, it's okay, will be or can be using transducers which will be continuous wave transducers. Now, you don't need to read on it now, but that's okay. You can go on to page 313 in your book and see, it's okay, what a continuous wave transducer looks like. Okay. So, and yes, okay, we have those in the school as well. Not bigger than this pen here. Yes, okay, smaller than the pen. This is how big they are. Not to talk about, yes, okay, the part that you scan on, yes, okay, what's going to be the footprint is smaller than a penny. So yes, okay. But that's a continuous wave transducer. So yes, okay. What would it not have? It would not have a backing material. Of course, that's okay. That's okay. That penny has two sides, right? There's a good side, there's a bad side. Or two sides of the coin. Isn't that what you say? Okay, so that's okay. If it has some advantages, it also has some disadvantages. So things come with advantages, things come with disadvantages. Is that clear? Okay. Now, guys, as I said earlier, is that the impedance of the backing material, also known as the damping material, equals the impedance of your PCT. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you say, yes, okay, that the impedance of the PCT was 20 times greater than that of skin. So is it going to be for the backing material. So both of these two here have, okay, yes, similar impedances. Clear? Okay. One thing, yes, okay, one factor in which, yes, okay, this backing material or damping material here is going to be different between, yes, okay, backing material and the PCT or crystals is their thickness in relation to wavelength. Because the thickness of your PCT is equaled half the size of the wavelength. Whereas that thickness of the PCT sorry, the thickness of your backing material is going to be equal to, yes, okay, 1/4 the wavelength. Yeah, okay. But, as we said, it is still going to be the thickness of the PCT itself that will be the main determinant of your wavelength. Yeah. Okay. Although it's okay, we can say it's okay, where it's going to be it's okay. The similarity between the backing material, or it's okay, known as the damping material, and the PCT is their impedances are equal. Okay. And as high as 20 times the impedance of skin. Did you get it? Did you guys get that? So backing material and PCT have similar impedances, but they have different thicknesses. Yeah, okay, where we can say that's okay, that the thickness of the backing material and that of your matching layer will be equal because they are both equal to 1/4 of the wavelength. Okay. But dear guys, if you till this point have got this much, that a non-continuous wave transducer does not have backing material, and a pulse wave transducer has backing material, you should be good. But, please keep in mind that your continuous wave transducers is also known as non-imaging transducers, or they can also be referred to as therapeutic transducers. Clear? Okay. Okay. Where the vibrations of the PCTs that's going to cause the production of sound wave is going to be equal to the frequency of the electrical signal. We'll talk in detail about that later on. But in a pulsed wave transducer, also known as an imaging transducer, okay, that we can mean says, okay, is going to be pulsed because not all of the energy produced by or not all of the sound energy produced by the PCT will be transmitted. A big chunk of that is going to be absorbed by the backing material. And that's how it's okay, that pulse wave transducer actually just fires off in pulses. Did you guys get that? Clear? Okay, and what did we mean by pulses? and XYZ number of cycles. Clear? Okay. Together. Followed by a period of silence. Okay. Now, during that period of silence, that doesn't mean that the transducer is still going to be receiving electrical signals. But whatever sound it produced during that time of listening time is going to be absorbed by the backing material. Okay, so we just got those 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 5 to 6 cycles together as okay as a pulse being transmitted. Did you guys get that? Okay. Now the wavelength of each of those cycles in the pulse was determined by the thickness of your the wavelength of the cycles in the pulse was determined by the
PZT.
PCT. What feature or characteristic of the PCT, my dear?
The thickness.
Thickness, exactly. Clear? Okay. Did you guys get that? Okay. Now, some of you may be scratching your heads and say, then what about things such as PRP and PRFs? Where does that come from? What determines that? Well, of course, yes, okay. It's our depth that we increase or decrease that will set the PRPs and PRFs, right? But you can say it's okay, electronic component that sets the interval between pulse to pulse to pulse to pulse. We'll talk more about that in a later chapter. Okay. But you can say it's okay. Yeah, spatial pulse duration. No, not spatial pulse duration, sorry, and your spatial pulse length is determined by the wavelength, if you recall that equation, right? Yeah, okay. What determines the wavelength? The thickness of the PCT. And what's going to be directly proportional to that wavelength is going to be the period, which then just sets the pulse duration. Okay, where we can say, okay, the number of cycles per pulse. How many cycles did we have in a pulse? That number is going to just, okay, be set by the, or determined by the backing material. Because all depends upon it, okay, how much of the sound energy produced by the crystals that the backing material will be able to absorb. The remaining is going to just, okay, continue as a pulse. Did you guys get that? Okay, so tomorrow, guys, that's okay. We will have a further detailed account on the backing material. Okay, okay. It means that, okay, your book means it says, okay, consequences of backing material. Now, usually it's okay when you talk about consequences. Those of you who are raising children would know what consequences will mean. You do this, that's okay, the consequences is that. Okay, now that consequence, it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. Okay, one of my students says, okay, once said, okay, but why do they call it consequence? That's okay, the outcome. You want to put the word outcome? Okay, good, the outcome of, okay, as putting as okay, having a backing material, whichever. Okay, so that's okay. Some of these consequences here are going to, yes, okay, have a negative effect. Okay, but then that's going to be, yes, okay, positive as well. The main positive thing is, well, okay, that we don't have continuous waves. Okay, and actually that's okay, are able to produce pulsed waves, which helps us to create an image. Now, with that said, guys, how did you like it? Okay. Now, just read on this material, and by tomorrow, it's okay. If you still have any questions, you are more than welcome. Not just welcome, it will be, yes, okay, very much encouraged that you ask questions. Okay. The more you ask, the more you will learn. What I could tell you guys on top of my head, that's okay. I have conveyed it. So if something strikes your head and it's okay, does this make any sense? Is this how it works? Is so and so and so? Please ask. Okay. So before we finish, any question? Or anything you still say, okay, let me just clarify this once forever. Okay, maybe if you read the materials, okay, questions will pop to your head. No, just write it down and okay, yes, ask it tomorrow. Okay, guys? Now, take care, stay blessed, stay warm. Keep the door closed so you don't have to, yes, okay, be continuously, yes, okay, shivering like a continuous wave transducer. Okay, and keep children away from those crystal pieces. Okay, guys. Have fun.
See
See you
Okay,
tomorrow.
Bye.
okay, see you tomorrow, guys.